podcast made by men for men. We all here with each other. We all go through the same things. Welcome back to the Visionnaire Podcast. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different because we're not going to be having one of those surface level convos.
Yeah.
Today we're going to actually get deep because it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and it's a lot of men that's actually suffering in silence right now.
Yeah. The crazy thing about it, men don't even think they depressed. They just feel like they irritable and things of that nature. So we're going to go through the 5 silent signs of depression.
Number 1, being irritable, being angry instead of experiencing sadness. So a lot of men start snapping, get short-tempered. Anybody in their path gets the full wrath of their anger.
Right.
Instead of them actually dealing with the root cause, which is unprocessed pain. Pain that they've been going through and may not even know they're going through, but they've been depressing it deep down.
Yeah, we don't even call it what it is because, society look at angry men as masculine and they look at the softer men as sassy. But we're not supposed to hold all of that in because then when we bottle it, it explodes.
Exactly. And that's where we get to that point where we've buried it down so much that now it has no choice but to come up.
Right.
It's like when you sweep all your problems under a rug, eventually that rug is going to start to lift up and you're going to see the problems that you got.
Well, I know somebody like that right now.
It's a lot of people like that,
Right.
But at the end of the day, like I said before, all that's just unprocessed pain.
Right.
That's just stuff that we're not willing to deal with.
We just
The junk drawer can only get so full.
Right. I feel like it just takes you. You don't have, like you said, you don't have no control over it. So, I mean, if you're a man and you're going through that kind of thing, that's the first key sign that something is happening.
And you got to look at those signs, not just with like your significant other, but if you're a man and you have kids as well, you got to look at it in those eyes. I have a daughter, and when I went through that state, she used to irritate me all the time because she's so lovey and she just wants to hug on you and be all over you, and it's just like, not right now.
Right.
Like, let me be.
Yeah.
So I do understand that part. So you have to look at those signs as well with your kids or you say significant other.
Right.
Family members, your friends.
Yeah.
You have to look at those type of things, and
You start getting into it with your dogs.
yeah, if your boy start telling me you been tripping lately, that they see it, even though you don't see it, they see it.
They see it, right.
So you got to start to be able to become consciously aware of those things.
Right. Sign number 2 is when you start ghosting people. Like you put your phone on D&D and you stop seeing your family, you stop pulling up on your people, and you just start disappearing.
Yeah, you start to go through the withdrawal.
Right.
And the crazy part with that is it's supposed to be expected from a man. A man's supposed to be distant, self-reliant. So a lot of people don't see those things because that's how a man's supposed to be.
Right.
But withdrawing from loved ones is actually a clear sign that something is actually off. But we don't realize that. We don't see it that way because that's just how men are. When men go through things, we go ghost.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk to nobody.
Right.
We don't want to be with nobody.
Just give me a little time.
Which we deal with a brother that's like that, where he completely just ghosts everybody when he goes through things, and we give him that same excuse all the time. Oh, that's just him. That's just him. He do that. He do that.
Right.
When in our face, that's a clear sign that something's going on.
Right.
So when your loved ones start disappearing, they're not coming around, that's a sign for you on the outside to reach out and actually see if there's something going on. And don't just take the surface level answer that we're going to always give you. I'm okay. I'm good. We have to be able to dive deeper into that, especially if it comes down to a loved one.
Well, if they tell you nothing's wrong, what you supposed to do?
You got to keep trying. You got to keep checking. You get so many people that they already feel like they're alone. So even when the loved one does reach out, it's like, I'm good. Or at that state, they've been dealing with it for so long that they don't feel like you care.
Right.
You just asking just to ask.
Yeah.
So you have to show consistency, even if it agitates them, even if it makes them want to push you away. We can't just take the surface level answer.
Yeah.
The rise of suicide rate within men goes up every single year.
It's a lot higher in men than women.
It's a lot higher because we deal with so much.
We just don't talk
and
about
we
it.
just bottle everything up. So if you have a friend, you have a loved one, whoever it may be, and they start to distance themselves, even if you feel like you have a big pride, you got to drop it sometimes and reach out to them and make sure they're good.
True.
Silent sign number 3, changes in your sleep and in your energy. You either sleeping all day or you up at 3 a.m. scrolling. You might be on YouTube trying to figure out how to fix your life or typing in, am I depressed? When your sleep starts to be off, that is a sign of you dealing with depression.
Real shit.
Yeah. You be up at 3 a.m.?
Depressed, boy.
You be up at 3 a.m.?
What, boy? I be up late at night, like, and you know, I thought it was always like I ain't doing enough. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was like I'm just up because my mind is racing and I ain't doing enough. I need to do more and I need to get this done. I need to get that done. Bro, that's like signs of depression.
That's signs of depression. But like we said, people don't want to admit that.
Yeah.
So for you, it's just I'm in grind mode.
Right.
It's always something more I can do.
Right.
I got to do this. I got to do that.
It. Right.
When in reality, you just can't sleep. You can't shut your brain off.
Right.
So,
Still do that now.
Yeah. So it's a lot of people that deal with like insomnia and all that ties into
Like chronic
dealing with
fatigue.
depression. Yeah. All that deals with depression.
Whoa.
But this is why we having this talk right now, because it is signs that even we can't see ourselves. So we want to bring this to the light and bring awareness, so that way when you go through these things, you can actually understand it. You can actually see it, and your family members and loved ones around you can see it as well.
But you don't sit there. You don't think you're depressed if you staying awake. I would think a person would be depressed if they was sleeping all day. I seen that before.
Oh yeah, I used to have a client that was like that. Slept all day. Used to wake up and then need a nap. Like you never feel like you get rest.
Right.
If you constantly restless, like no matter how much you sleep and you wake up and you restless,
right, you still tired.
Those are signs of depression.
Wow. I feel fine.
You be feeling fine,
You feel fine, but you're not.
don't mean you're fine.
You ain't fine, bro.
So that's another sign for you guys to look out for. You ain't always just in grind mode. Sometimes you're in grind mode because you're trying to run from something and you're not trying to deal with it. Men have found ways to keep themselves busy,
Right.
to not deal with things.
You know what? I ain't gonna speak on it on the podcast, but it kind of kicked to me what it was. What I might be running from.
Well, what are you running from, RJ?
Nope, not speaking to it on the podcast.
This is a safe place.
Yeah,
This is a safe place, my guy.
I'll go spit it in the comments. Y'all should talk about it because I'm gonna put it in the comments. I'm gonna just put it under
An anonymous account.
anonymous page. I'm gonna go in there and cry with y'all.
All right,
I love this video.
let's go to number 4.
Sign number 4 is risky behavior. You start living life in the fast lane. Like you start gambling. Maybe you start doing crazy things, living life on the edge, speeding, and those kind of things. It could be substance abuse as well. Everybody know what substance abuse is. You ain't got to explain that.
Yeah.
But, man.
The risky behavior one that got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a lot of people when they deal with depression, it's the adrenaline. They become adrenaline junkies.
Right.
They're trying to get a high to mask what they're actually going through.
Makes sense.
So, if a person is not going through substance abuse, but they want to get an adrenaline high, they might do things like, this one's going to get me, but I'm going to talk about this one, okay?
Take your time, bro.
So, when my son passed away, I'm not a person that I deal with substance abuse, but, it's going to get me. I always dealt with the risky behavior, right? And I remember I used to be driving, and I'd be driving behind like a semi-truck or something like that. And it'd be a thought in my head all the time, and it'd be like, just speed up and just crash into it. I used to always I used to be doing like 100, bro, like over 100, like just speeding. And it's like, soon as I would get close to it, I'd snap out of it. I'd be like, what am I doing? So that part, I used to deal with that part a whole lot. You know, just the risky behavior part. It needs to be all the time. When I was on the road, it got to the point I didn't even want to drive no more. Like I used to just deal with that all the time. Like just flip the car, just drive and just swerve and flip the car.
Yeah.
Like, so I used to deal with that a whole lot. Like in that point of my life after that happened, I was suicidal for a while. So I used to deal with a lot of that. Like I never went to the substance part, but I dealt with the risky behavior a whole lot.
I used to get behind them semis that had like the ramps. I used to.
Oh, you used to be on some GTA.
I used to be on some Fast and Furious. Used to
Yeah,
want
you
to
used to
jump
be
the
on.
ramp.
Used to be on that. Yeah.
It was kind of risky too, though. But I don't know. I ain't never think what would come out of it. I mean, I always stop myself. But the risky behavior part, if you feel like you got an addiction to that kind of stuff and gambling and, you know, it's a lot that comes with that.
It is.
And we just telling y'all a few things. I'm sure there's other people that have multiple things that they went through. I had an uncle, and he used to gamble so bad. That man, he pawned his car. You ever heard of a car being pawned?
No.
Man, it was so bad he pawned the car. So it's a lot of things that could come out of that. And us as men, we gotta understand that sometimes we be needing help,
We do.
and we don't be wanting to go get the help because we always feel like it make us sorrowful, whatever, however you feel. I feel like these days I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's the same. Back then it was like, oh man, I ain't doing
You got to be tough.
right. But nowadays,
It's more open for
It's
men
open
to
for men to
express
do that.
themselves. And I feel like this is why a lot of men need to have a men group, where they can express these type of things.
yeah,
Because keeping it all bottled in ain't gonna do nothing but destroy you.
I'm gonna do nothing.
Everything I went through, I held that in for years. You know what I mean? Like I held it in to the point where I couldn't hold it in.
Right. So
I
how'd you
feel
let
like,
it out?
to be honest with you, bro, I don't even know because I still deal with it. I've learned to kind of like accept it and understand that everything in this life happens for a reason.
True.
You don't talk about religion, but I'm gonna talk about my God. Turning my life to God and just giving Him all that pain and everything I was dealing with.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how I was able to get over it, and then not get over it, but deal with it, and eventually start letting it out.
Yeah.
Slowly, me letting it out, because after it happened, this was 2012. I think the first time since 2012, I feel like I cried everything I could cry at that point. I held everything else in for like the next 10 years, to the point where it's like, this ain't healthy.
Right.
This ain't healthy at all.
Yeah.
I was angry all the time, frustrated with everything. Felt like life was going nowhere. You know, I didn't see a brighter future, a brighter life.
Right. Yeah.
Because my mentality at that time is something like this can happen. What's the point of life?
Right.
That's how I looked back then.
That's how you look at it then, yeah.
Like, what's the point of all this?
Right.
It took me to get older, get more mature, have my daughter. Then that's when I started seeing like life in a different light.
Gotcha.
So it's like I couldn't let my past turn me into the person that it was turning me into, because now I need to be better for my daughter.
Right. Makes sense.
So that's kind of, in a sense, that's kind of how I was able to deal with it moving forward.
The last point is you just stop caring. You stop caring about your goals. You stop caring about your visions, your dreams, your aspirations. You stop caring about your girl, your churn. You just stop caring about a lot. And you stop caring about how you walk about the house. You walking about the house with anything on. I was always taught, if you're going to walk out the house, make sure you walk out the house with sense. Or, you walk out the house looking decent, because you never know who you're going to run into.
Exactly.
Or who you're going to meet. You could you can meet a person that's going to make your life better tomorrow. And first impressions is everything. But walking out the house like you just don't care, that could be a sign of depression as well.
When you stop caring about,
Your
like you said, you
appearance.
stop caring about your appearance.
Right.
A lot of men get to the point where they don't even recognize what they see in the mirror. They lose themselves in that sense. They stop working out.
Yeah.
They stop caring about their health overall. And the things that they used to do, they used to bring enjoyment to their life, no longer does that.
Right.
And a lot of men look at it like, oh, I just got lazy. No, you didn't get lazy. That's a sign of depression.
Right.
If a man plays golf or he likes building stuff or whatever the case may be, if you no longer still have that enjoyment in that, and it's just out of nowhere especially, that's a sign of depression.
Makes a lot of sense.
But it's just a lot of things that we just don't really look at,
Yeah.
you know?
We just don't know, actually.
So it's like at the end of the day, we giving these 5 signs, but it's a lot more signs.
Yeah, most
But
definitely.
we try to narrow it down to the ones that we don't really think about. You know,
Right.
substance abuse, we know that's a sign of depression.
Right.
But small little things are the things that get overlooked. And the more they get overlooked, they keep building up, building up, building up, building up. And to the point where it's like, well, damn, what do I do from here?
Exactly.
So we want to bring you guys this video to bring light to these signs so that way you can see them and you can understand them and not just push them off as they aren't what they are just because we're trying to be masculine men and we just trying to stay tough. You don't always have to be tough. You don't always have to hold everything in. You can talk. Well, when I ain't got nobody to talk to, I talk to God.
Yeah, me too.
Or have your friend circle.
Yeah.
People that you know you can trust, you can rely on. And,
We said that in like our first or second
Yeah.
episode. It was like it's important to have a friend
It's
group.
important, yes.
Yeah.
But also, men, don't be scared to go to therapy. Therapy ain't for the soft.
That too.
You going to therapy ain't gonna make you soft.
Right.
It's gonna help you.
Who gonna know you went to therapy
Exactly.
but you?
Exactly.
Right.
And at the end of the day, it's gonna allow you to deal with all these things that you don't see. And they're gonna point out things that you don't see.
Right.
So I feel like if men are really going through things and no matter what you try to do, it's not working, I feel like, yeah, then that's the route that you need to go, is trying to seek help.
Right.
Seeking help doesn't demasculate you. It doesn't change anything about you.
No, definitely not.
It's going to help you.
For sure.
So, yeah, I know we got kind of deep on this podcast today.
Well, it kind of helped me.
Yeah, it lets you see some areas you might be dealing with depression.
I hope it helps somebody else too as well because, man, I didn't even know.
And it's, so if you don't know, just think about how many men actually don't know.
Exactly.
And this is why we have to use our platforms to be able to put
Right.
this type of information out.
Our platform is growing, so
Exactly.
yes, we have
And
to
so you guys
use it
know
wisely.
the comment section is going to be a safe place for you guys. So if you have anything that you're dealing with that you need to get off on your chest, you can put them in the comments. We will try to respond back to as much of you guys as we can.
I'm gonna be in there
But,
too.
yeah, we want the comments to be a safe place. So if you are dealing with something and you need to release it, just go ahead and drop it into the comments.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in there. Anonymous Riz.
Well, if y'all see that, y'all know who it is.
No, it's not funny, but for real, you should go in the comments if you feel like you need to say something.
If you need somebody to talk to, let us talk.
Right.
We are a podcast made by men for men. We all here with each other. We all go through the same things.
And I feel like even if you're not going through depression, maybe if you see another man in the comment section, maybe you should try to, help him if you've been through what he's speaking on. So we could all kind of help each other because not all of us know how to navigate it.
Exactly.
Right.
So build a community of men
Right.
that can help elevate each other, can help each other get through some hard times.
Right.
You never know who you may need in your life.
You never know.
So as men, don't be afraid to open up. Like I said, it's going to be a safe space for you guys. So we're going to be there. We hope to see y'all there so that way we can kind of help one another.
I hope y'all had a great time. I
I
hope
say, I
y'all
mean,
learned some things. Because I sure did. And we'll see you on the next episode.
We will see you guys next week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to like. Go ahead and drop your comments below. And share this with a friend who you feel like may need to hear this.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
We'll see you guys next week.